Let me now read the manifesto where I write a few paragraphs a few days ahead. Guided by my soul, I get in a flow. I was kind of surprised. So today's topic is how spiritual humans become fully free in the multiverse. And this often happens if you're like really seeking the flow with your higher self. You'll find that you have a thought or an impulse that you want to start with. So I started writing this in different ways, and I got into sort of some different theory and some social criticism and science criticism. But then I just felt this energy of I just want to speak more directly to this. So see how you like this manifesto where I describe some basic concepts, and then we'll go into more from there. And yeah, there's a lot of science and social criticism that I could get into, but it was still sort of criticism. It's you end up going for the highest energy, but you may not be able to go for it at first. In other words, so it's a basic lesson of you may have to have a few false starts, but they're not really false starts. You just start with where you're at and work it through and see how far that goes until you're ready to shift in a different direction. I talked about this last week of the baby steps, sort of zigzag. It's I try this until, I don't have to go all that way perfectly. And now I'm ready to go here. It's kind of like turning corners, seeing what's next. So yeah, this is what I ended up writing. I felt good about it. See how it works for you. How spiritual humans become fully free in the multiverse. Yes, the multiverse is real, and you will learn to navigate it to set yourself fully free. Free from the post-traumatic stress, free from the fascist domination, free from the ecological disaster, free to live happy ever after where you belong to thrive. But how and when will you learn how the multiverse really works? That's the question. There are dramatic misconceptions, really false ideas in the society that are very common, and they will keep you struggling in domination fantasies of the negative ego. Those domination fantasies, I'm going to make things work my way. I'm going to make these people agree with it. I'm going to make it happen. Domination fantasies, no. Dominion is how the universe works. Dominion is where you don't have to force anything. The people who agree with you, who are ready to do what you want to do, they just show up magically. You're all right, let's go. Let's have fun together. That's your dominion. Your domination is where things are showing up in conflict, and your own inner negativity is saying, oh yeah, fight with them. Oh yeah, this is what you need to do. Oh, there's nothing better for you. You can't just ask the universe for friends right away. You got to make things happen. That's dominion versus fantasy. Versus the fantasy of domination. So to continue what I wrote, the living, loving universe is actually an elegantly generous and easy creation partner, also known as God, Goddess, Great Spirit, Source, etc. Your challenge, then, is to get through the Earth school of mastering false negative belief systems. So you can work with that directly living, loving universe, and you can always enjoy recalling who you really are, becoming more of your real loving self, your own form of the universe itself, that is able to remember and revisit your own paradise with increasing joy. Because you do have a paradise within you. That's what's guiding you. Join us this Sunday, August 2nd, 2026, for a free empowering talk on the multiverse as the original spiritual technology of ultimate manifestation. In other words, not how to just make a thing happen, but how to get back to heaven without dying. How to get to your paradise from here, how to get there from here. The afterlife is the energy side of life that is always here now. The afterlife is not just something you wait to get to when you die and then everything's perfect. The afterlife is the energetic, spiritual, higher perspective. When you reflect on things, when you step back, that is the energy side of life. That's where decisions are made. That's where reality comes from, manifests from. So the afterlife is an energy side of life that is always ready to teach you how true it is that only love is real. You can set up any reality you want, as negative as you want. Sooner or later, you will discover only love is what really works, what's sustainable. False beliefs and negative paradigms divide the complete human being into two sides that are then told to fight each other. The human side that's trying to make things work physically with domination, and then the spiritual side, when you die, you go into the spirit world, instant manifestations, spirit guides, lots of love, and then you want to try going back. And people go back and forth, and they need to learn the lessons of how to live heaven on earth. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. That is what Teilhard de Chardin said. But he's only half right, because you're really both. You are a human experience and you are a spiritual experience, and you're an even greater being above that. You're always learning to make the best of what is in front of you, where you're at. So sometimes you're human, sometimes you're more spiritual with a higher perspective and higher ideals. And then you go into the human. How do I live those ideals? And I've often experienced, just sort of for comparison, yeah, I have spiritual mystical experiences my whole life. That means that I've gotten good at going into the spiritual, but it's when I come back to the human side, oh, how do I apply all my ideals to the situation I'm in? I would get really scared, anxious, panicked, overwhelmed. I have not dealt with life all that well. I've got problems in my life, but it's because I wasn't connecting the human and spirit sides. So everyone has a challenge with this. So limitless growth is inclusive. Growth is inclusive as you decide for yourself how to get a positive benefit from every situation you experience. So you learn life lessons with compassion. You build bridges. You integrate. You see the bigger picture. You reframe for more hope and more direction of the spiritual answers. That is the action. That is the experience of being a spiritual human. Putting more spiritual with more human with spiritual. Law of attraction isn't just about making something you want to happen. Law of attraction is being attracted to your own soul. Where do all those desires come from? I wanted to manifest a house and this and that. Sure, law of attraction, then you get all these visualization techniques, manifestation techniques. It's all valid, but where is it going and where is it coming from? Abraham Hicks talks about this. Ali mentioned it, the rockets of desire. When you go into a situation that's not good for you, you may go through a long process of trying to make it work and finally deciding I need a new solution and all this. But immediately, the universe, your higher self, has a solution for you. Immediately, there is an answer to everything you need. Just unconsciously, it's available. You will learn to get to it. You will learn to experience. So trust, the universe has a paradise for you, a way to get through every situation to a better life for you. So, law of attraction is about being attracted to your own soul, which holds the pre-existing paradise that calls you home to the love that you really are. You have a paradise way of living. You have an actual paradise reality that will manifest as you live more of your way to love. So what is the multiverse? Yes, it's about the pure magic of anything is possible, but with consequences. So it's not fantasy. This is the social commentary. I won't go into it so much, but, a lot of like comic book kind of versions of the multiverse. They end up just using the multiverse as a way to reboot a story. Oh, let's change it this way. Let's change it that way. Not very spiritually realistic. Yes, there's a multiverse where you can set up any reality, but the realities have consequences. Consequences are different from rules. People love rules as they try to control their lives to make sure that nothing bad happens. Rules to set up realities. People invent many laws with rewards and punishments to get you to go along with it, to incentivize. And people think the world will be a great place when we all obey the same rules and the same reality. But that's not how the universe works with consequences. The consequences show up in your emotions. Human beings are emotionally driven with free will choices to believe whatever they want that they think is right to do. So it's the emotions that show the consequences of the choices that you can make with your own free will. Let everyone have their own choices and their own consequences from those choices. The consequences are about the life system. Go ahead, stage any reality you want. You'll see how well it works for you. We've got now in the world, different tribes are fighting over how to run the planet. And nice people are trying to convince peacefully, while mean people are happily blaming and killing enemies. But the whole idea of fighting over one planet to rule with a set of laws, that is domination. That is not consequences. Consequences, you can do whatever you want. You will see how well that works for you. Human conflicts of interest are killing the planet. And much to the dismay of many, God isn't stopping the bad guys. right? There's so many religions, like God's on my side, God's going to show up, you're going to be defeated, God loves me, God doesn't love you. And then God doesn't show up, God doesn't do any of that. Over and over, like, why do bad things happen to good people? Why did this person get to do that? Because God is letting everyone set up their own reality. They will get the consequences of the emotions, whether nature lives or dies. You can't change how sustainable your lifestyle is. You're just going to find out. And then you can make new choices. So God isn't stopping the bad guys because God doesn't make rules. The universe runs on the consequences of life systems that have their own consistent self-chosen behaviors. Everybody in the same reality has some choice. They've made some choice to be connected to that reality, and that becomes its own consistent system. But is it sustainable? Does life grow from that or not? Things that belong together are already together. You don't have to make anything happen. Just by the time you get to a human experience, just trust and believe. I have everything around me that reflects my choices. Let it show me my choices. I want to change my choices. I don't want to change the reality. It would be like, if you're driving your car, I'm going over the speed limit. So rather than slow down, I just want to change my speedometer. I want to make my dashboard. That would be like trying to force the reality to show something. No, you want an honest reality that is giving you feedback from your choices. I need to slow down, not change the speedometer. So, where is it? The most basic conflict that people are feeling is they think they're trapped in the same reality together. If you don't want to suffer in a society that conflicts with you, then you must remove the conflict in yourself that kept you feeling trapped in that reality. The domination culture offers different tactics to force others to agree with you, to change your reality, to make things happen. And that includes the negative benefits, the guilty pleasures of blaming, threatening, abusing, victimhood, sorry for yourself, all that stuff. All of which are valid to experience, but not to live from. You change your choices based on emotions. So you feel free to feel your emotions, feel how you're reacting to your reality. Just don't let that run your life. Realize I may need to change and turn around so that I don't keep feeling angry, so I don't keep feeling stuck, so I don't keep feeling betrayed and blaming. Domination, that bull in a china shop, I'm going to keep plowing ahead, I'm going to make the world work. It never works. It has disastrous consequences. Nobody can ever be forced to agree with what they don't personally believe. So you let people buy into what they want to buy into, and they will have their consequences. Every consciousness is its own universe, which only needs to agree with itself. That's because there is no objective reality out there. There are only subjective realities that overlap. Remember I said my model of the universe, the tapioca model of the universe, we're all in our own energy bubble, floating around in this tapioca of, cosmic energy. Our minds put together a story of how there must be one reality, there must be one world out there based on the people that I'm seeing, that I'm connecting with, because we have some connection in our belief systems. But change your beliefs, you will see and experience different people. Your mind will shift. You will get a new story of I don't know what happened. Those problem people went away. People had spiritual awakenings. The ETs fixed things. Angels, I don't know. It just changed because I changed. You change, your reality will change. How much you force yourself to stay in a place that you don't like is up to you. Your mind is continually making a copy of everything you experience from your own perspective. So many people are codependent and miserable in toxic relationships, but they remain unwilling to change their own rules for their own reality. That is the power of belief systems, which say how you think life must work. If you think you have to stay stuck with those people and make them change their mind, then you will keep fighting them. They don't have to change their mind though. If you don't think you can do something, then you won't even try, even if the consequence is suffering. So that's where we're at. A lot of people need to wake up to you could change your choices at a higher, deeper level and just not even be with those people anymore. Don't try to change them. Don't try to make the reality be different. For this meetup, dare to imagine that you just belong in your own consistent world of true, like-minded friends. That's your happiness. It's a different world. What are the values that most excite you? How do you like to live? We will look at the 5 underlying laws of a consciousness-based universe. Jesus taught the multiverse. Jesus was teaching this stuff thousands of years ago, and people didn't understand it. But he said things like, love one another. That's the live and let live. I will not force you to do anything. Pray for your enemy. And he said, judge not lest you be judged. Because if you're condemning other people, they're going to condemn you. You get locked into a battle, a power struggle. Don't judge, and then you won't be judged, and you can let the universe guide you to a better place to be. He said, the meek will inherit the earth. The meek are what? People who don't do a lot of judging. People who just kind of like want to have a nice life and stick to themselves and just do that nice life. We will explain 2 kinds of judgment and how to focus on your own relationship with the source to be safe in the future. And we will conclude with a guided meditation to set better boundaries to manage your own energy with your own higher self. Okay. So I want to cover specific concepts. As often happens, the talk is going to go past 1 a bit, and then we'll do the meditation. So you stay as long as you can. You get the recording. Okay, let me get some basic diagram concepts here. Very helpful to have a map of reality. This is part of learning how things work, how the pieces fit together in a sustainable life system. See, there's 2 basic modes to living. One is where you sequentially experience things, but that's called a process. Sequentially experienced things are life stories, but that doesn't mean life is actually sequential because, hey, other people are experiencing things you haven't even gotten to yet, and you've gotten to things that they haven't gotten to yet. Now, everything is simultaneous in a life system. So an example of a life system is your own body, right? So you may experience learning about your body in a sequential way, like, oh, let's look at the digestive system. Okay, chew some food, it goes down your throat, in your stomach, absorbed in the small intestine, out the large intestine, very sequential, right? But is it actually sequential in life? No, it's continually happening. The food I ate yesterday is what gives me the energy to digest food today. The whole system is continuously running. So it's about the systems of life. You sequentially experience things to make choices. You use those choices to have a reality, and then you discover how much the reality really works as an actual holistic life system. And it's your emotions that are giving you feedback on whether the system is working for you. Then just don't take the emotions as literal sequential commands, like, oh, I'm angry, that means domination is the right way to go. I have to fight those people. No. Your anger can easily go to just better boundaries. Like, hey, my system isn't working for me. I've got a lot of problems in my life that I'm angry at. Let me set some better boundaries, some better choices for myself, and let other people go. Don't fight with them. So you want to acknowledge your emotions, but then manage your emotions from a higher spiritual perspective so you get back to the energy that the emotions are indicating. Emotions are all indications of how well the reality is working for you from your divine energy. You always start from a divine energy that's all powerful, all loving, and then your reality rules, refine that down to a reality experience. Let yourself evaluate that, step back, make choices that then change the system. So this is the basic idea of, like, you are a human being on the earth, okay? And the human being has a certain emotional experience, a certain reality emotional experience. That's your energy bubble. And you want to have enough of an experience that you understand how life is working for you, but you don't want to have so much emotional experience that you get stuck, become vengeful, buy into the domination beliefs that say just get rid of the bad things, the bad people. No, that's not going to work. You want to feel your feelings enough that then you can be the other part of you, the spiritual side. Every human being needs to be both spiritual and human. The human side has an experience. The human experiencer, the spiritual side, that's when you step back and evaluate. So I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to keep fighting and getting stuck in a reality that's not working for me. But hey, if this isn't working for me, let's make some deeper choices. So that's when you learn at the spiritual level how to have more and more higher level, loving, love-based belief systems, options, things to try, ways the universe works. And that's where you tune into there is a source. There is a source of all life, the background universe. And your soul I'll just put it as a circle within the greater circle, but it's really it's the entire universe. You are the entire universe, learning to have a wonderful life from your perspective. So you can tap into all the wisdom, all the love of the universe. That's when we have these amazing experiences of like, oh my God, I got a rush of like knowing things and thinking and feeling amazing things. That's because you're tapping into the greater universe that is you. But then if you have a negative belief come up like, oh, but I'm lonely, nobody likes me, I'm always failing, then it will shut down again. You can't tap into the greater universe that's joyful, has a great life for you, if you're busy holding on to false beliefs that tell you what a loser you are. It's basic, you want to find that inconsistency. And again, the emotions will tell you, I'm upset. Upset means there's something to fix in my reality system. So this is where the more you grow, learning how the universe works, the stronger your spiritual side becomes. In addition, the human side becomes healthier and a happier lifestyle, and the spiritual side becomes more wise and aware of how life works. So you got these 4 levels: the physical, your body, your vehicle, a reality that you overlap with other people; your emotional level, your feelings, the energy that gives you a feedback on, is this reality working for me or not? Should I stay with these people or should I go somewhere else? And the mental level, your beliefs. You have a lot of thoughts all the time. Thoughts are more reality-based in the physical, but they indicate the patterns of your beliefs. If you believe everyone's a cheater and a liar, then you'll have thoughts of specific things that go that way. Oh, this person is lying because I believe. At the mental level, generally, the belief that people are all liars. But how does that make me feel? I don't want to be in a world of just liars. Beliefs are always generalizations. Positive generalizations are the ones that work for you. It's a loving universe. There is a solution. That's a generalization. I haven't found every solution I need yet, but I believe there will be a solution. That's a great generalization. Negative generalizations are like, oh, there isn't a solution. I'm doomed. I should have done what they told me 2 years ago. Now I'm a loser. I'm going to die. I don't exist. I don't belong here. That feels awful emotionally. That tells you change your beliefs. And the spiritual level, that's your values and inspirations. That's what excites you, inspires you, keeps you trying again. Pick yourself up, try again. That's your connection to your soul. So there's one route of energy that's coming through nature unconsciously, and that's what drives your human being. Your human being comes from the earth, comes from the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom. There's so much wisdom in the earth. It's more unconscious, though. It's just going to guide you with health, with intuition. What you're building consciously is this spiritual human experience, so you can connect more consciously with your higher self and with your future self. Your higher self is the greater you that has everything you will ever need and has solutions. The future self comes out of your higher self. That's the you on the other side of your current challenge, your current problem. You can call upon your future self, like, hey, what's the direction of my happiness here? Well, what do I do here to reach my happiness? That is my goal. Your future self will tell you. So you're building a conscious path of experience with the universe and an unconscious path of just feeling, knowing what's the best way to go. And you always want to have a balance. You want to allow that I don't have to fully understand what's going on here, what to do. I just feel unconsciously through nature, through my human self, this is the way to go. I'm excited about this. I'm curious about this. Synchronicities showed up, some good people, some opportunities. Let's go that direction. And then you consciously process that to connect more with your future self, higher self, more and more. You will experience literally spiritual beings and your soul and various forms of the universe talking with you, guiding you. It becomes more and more magic. Really, life is a fairy tale, just waiting for you to live happy ever after. So this is the basic idea. And then, so negative beliefs are at this mental level. What you want to do is have beliefs that are like a tube. The positive beliefs, they're good generalizations. They let the energy through. Maybe it's a generalization that there will always be a solution, but it's true. The universe loves you and there will always be a solution. You don't want to make false generalizations. Negativity has 2 forms. There's ugly lies, pessimism, and pretty lies, optimism. So you want to watch out for the kind of generalizations that may at first, like, oh, that's nice, but you get addicted to it and it doesn't work. Any signs of like you have to struggle, you have to fight enemies to make something work, you got a false belief there. So watch out for the false beliefs that say like, everybody loves you. No, not everybody loves you. Some people love you, some people don't. Everybody hates you. No, everybody doesn't hate you. Some people love you, some people don't. Positive beliefs are very realistic about like, look, there's a multiverse of possibilities. Find the place, find the people where you belong. The false beliefs are the ones that are going to say like, the world should be only one place. It's all against you or it's all for you. Fight. You'll get someday to a good place. In the meantime, you're always in conflict. Now, if you're always in conflict, always feeling bad emotionally, it's a sign that you have negative beliefs, which negative beliefs are just a mess at the belief level. The energy's still coming through, but it's more this, I'll draw a dashed line. People get their divine energy, but in the form of paranoia, in the form of the universe is against me. And it's true. This is a really interesting point. Let me rest my arm for a moment. This was coming to me the other day very clearly. See, the universe will always guide you to what is right for you to do and what is not right for you to do. There's a law of attraction. There's also a law of repulsion. You will be repulsed by the things that aren't right for you to do. At first, just a sense of like, yeah, I'm not interested. I don't want to do that. Later, it could get into some really negativity of like, I am repulsed by how awful these people are. I want to get the hell out of here. But there is still always something for you, something to attract you. So you may be in an awful situation. I mean, my God, these people are monsters. And, I see their negativity. But be attracted to your soul that says like, okay, we love you. You'll be safe. There's a solution. And then start having the compassion. Like there's love and solutions for everyone. So nobody is purely negative. Just see the negative and the positive. See, that's what's interesting about the positive energy. True positive energy sees the negative and the positive. Negativity sees only the negative or only a fantasy positive. So this is where you get a lot of spiritual bypassing, people call it, or I call it shortcuts to heaven. People who just want to say like, oh my God, I met my best friend. We've had lifetimes together. Everything is perfect now. And then as soon as something isn't perfect, crash. They've been set up for failure by their false beliefs. No, you don't want to be a fragile, like everything has to be positive now. You want to be a truly, with your positive beliefs, with your higher guidance that says, yeah, look, there's always going to be places you don't belong. People setting up negative realities to someday get a positive lesson, but they're not on the same schedule as you. People are on different schedules. You need to be with the people who are setting up a reality that's good for you to learn your positive lesson from. You know that love is the answer. You're just figuring out how is love the answer? What are the details for me? Then let the universe take you to where you can thrive. Ask the universe, I'm passionate about this. This is the kind of person I am. I want to do more of this kind of healing in the world, or be with these kind of people, or help the earth this way. And so universe, that's my passion. That's my real self. Validate me. Take me to where I belong to thrive. Give me opportunities. You don't want to spend a lot of time reacting to the things that are right for you. Just enough reaction to see like, yeah, that makes sense. There is negative and positive. There are things I don't belong in. There's a law of repulsion. I had a reaction to these people. I'm not stuck with them. I'm not going to stay and fight them. I'm just going to like register like, okay, that helps me to commit more to my positive because I see how much, if I don't commit to who I really am, I'm going to end up with those people who don't know who they are and do a lot of fighting. No, always you are the answer you need. Be more of your real self. That way the source can support you, can give you a positive reality experience that shifts you sequentially in the story of your life. You will experience the world changing around you. But really it's about you instantly change within yourself. You make a choice like, I'm going to choose the positive universe. It has a solution for me. I am loved. So this is how to get away from the negative ego. The negative ego is the personality that comes up in you to enforce negative beliefs. You got into some negative beliefs, some false beliefs for various reasons. You wanted to like test, is this right for me or not? I felt an initial repulsion, but maybe I'm supposed to go in and rescue these people. Maybe I'm supposed to put up with stuff. I'll convince them, convert them. No, that, when something's negative from the start, it's going to just get more negative. But yeah, your negative ego, don't get stuck on condemning and criticizing other people's monsters. You have a monster side that is trying to get you to do the wrong things. Just see it. Just, I don't have to believe that. I have inner critics. Old trauma comes up, try to tell me what a loser I am. No, you're not a loser. The thing is to notice the human being cannot defeat the negative ego because they're at two different levels. This is something important I want to explain. In other words, your human self will feel how bad a situation is for you, but your human self can't change that situation by itself. The best the human can do is do their best. Be a loving person, believe in the best, hope for the best, be the best you can be in a limited situation. So you may have an experience where you could give up on life because, oh, I tried, I was a really nice person and they still abused me. That's because you were at the human level. Do your best at the human level, but the story's not over. You need to then switch to the spiritual level where now your higher guidance will show you, oh, these are the deep belief patterns you need to change. And then you won't feel stuck with those people anymore. You will let it go. You're like, okay, those people are doing that. The universe has whole new places for me to go. I don't know what they look like exactly. I can have some fantasies. I'm not going to hold the universe to that. Just universe, take me to a better place. So the point is, this is the basic relationship here. Here's the human self, right? The human self reacting to the world. The human self alone cannot deal with, like, let's draw this little devil character here, okay? So having a sense of the world is against you, there's some kind of devil figure. It's smiling. I guess it's a sadistic smile. So, but anyway, no, you have your own devil figure inside of you. What you want to do is not be the human versus negativity, because you won't be able to change it. You want to be the human who sees the negative and then goes, be the best person you can be. I'm going to be my positive. I have negative thoughts that come up in me, but I'm going to validate myself. That's when you go to the spiritual level. From the spiritual level, that's where you can step back and validate yourself. So you don't fight the negativity from the human level, saying like, the negative thoughts are saying, you're so bad. And you're saying, no, I'm not so bad. I'm good. And you're so bad and blah, blah, fighting. And then you get into fights with people who say the things that trigger you. No, you want to go to a level where, okay, I can see my human being is tormented by negative situations and negative thoughts. From a higher level, my human self, I love you. You are good. I love your values. I love your inspirations. Let's focus on having a better life for you. And then you call in your higher guides, your higher self, say, universe, help me. I want to have a better life for my human self. I validate my human self. You get this whole flow of positive information and energy. The negative ego will drop away. This will just like fizzle out. If you really validate yourself, the negative thoughts just drop away. And the feeling of being scared of being connected with the negative world will drop away. But you have to have that art of validating yourself, which I set as a future topic we're going to talk about. You have to validate yourself. You have to be spiritual, validating yourself, and human, experiencing yourself. You have to be both. So we're running over time, but let's talk about these 5 laws of reality. This is so interesting. This is so abstract. I'll try to explain it. But for a while, I've come across these ideas before. Bashar is a channeled entity. He really spelled it out in terms of 5 laws of reality. When you get a handle on it, when you figure out your own way to relate to it, you'll see that actually the universe is so supportive. There are no particular realities required. You just have to have a certain consistency of love, of self-validation within the reality, and then you can have whatever you want. So the first law, I'm not sure how to, I think they kind of go top down. So let's say the first law of 5 is you always exist. You exist. Always. So right away, any negative thoughts, any negative beliefs that say you're a loser, you lost your chance, you didn't do it right, you don't deserve to exist, you can't function, nobody wants you, all the kind of stuff that invalidates you, makes you feel awful, right? Just like I go into instant depression. I get really depressed really fast when one of those kind of like totally invalidating, I shouldn't even exist, I'm a loser, I don't belong anywhere, that kind of stuff comes up in my head. My human being just feels depressed right away. And that's when I have to back up and say, oh, look at that, I'm depressed. There must have been a negative thought. Oh yeah, I can feel it, I can think it. Like, yeah, I thought that I made a mistake, that my life is over, that I don't exist. No, you always exist. So right away, you will always exist. No worries. Focus on the quality of your life, not existential crises. Second law is everything is here and now. Everything here and now. So this is the idea where like all time is simultaneous and a multiverse. I mean, this is what Einstein discovered back in 1905 with special relativity. You can read about it. It's actually not too hard to understand. They measured that the speed of light is constant. No matter how fast you go, the speed of light is always the speed of light faster than you. So, in other words, light can't slow down. You can't catch up to light. What happens is time and space and everything, they're all interlinked to keep the speed of light at the speed of light. And speed is, time over distance, how much distance you cover in a certain amount of time. So time and space completely interlinked in time, space, time, and it's all here now. The consequence of special relativity, which many people still can't really wrap their heads around, is there's no special moment that is the present moment. The past, the present, the future, they all continually exist. And every possibility always continually exists. Quantum physics gets into superposition. All the possibilities exist, and then a particular interaction brings out one possibility, but everything always exists. Eternal quantum energy fields. It's an eternity. Everything's here now. So this is the basis of the multiverse. Yes, sequentially, you have a life story that says, oh, I won't get that really nice job until I do this and please this person and whatever. But that you enjoying a nice job that you want already exists. You just need to tap into the confidence. The universe loves you. The universe wants to get you to the places where you thrive, where you're happier. Feel that. The more that you can feel that everything is here and now, the less you will buy into false beliefs that say, well, you got to work hard to make this happen, and then it didn't happen, you're a loser, and you can't exist anymore. Not true. You always exist. Everything is always available. Tap into it. Tune into it by your choices and your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is like your little spaceship. How you live, your principles. Do you believe in love, or do you believe in lying and stealing? That is how you navigate the multiverse. You will get to different realities that match your choices for your lifestyle. So be the best person you can be, even in the face of negativity. That's where I was saying the human level, you don't fight negativity, you just be the best person you can be, and then you will naturally rise to the spiritual self who gets more higher guidance. You will tap into the futures that are calling you. So the third law, I like the way that Bashar says it. He says the all is one and one is all. The one is all and all is and the one is all. So it's a little I think the first way to think of this is just saying everything is connected. Because you don't necessarily get from here that everything is connected. This is saying everything is connected. And they find that in quantum physics. Everything's entangled. Where they talk about entangling particles, entangling a couple of photons to study them? What's interesting is they're not actually entangling two photons. They're disentangling them from everything else. So they're only entangled with each other, and then they can study that. No, and actually everything's already entangled. Everything started from one singularity of a Big Bang. Everything is always entangled. So across time, space, time, there are instant shifts of everything. The whole universe shifts around you when you make a choice. Everything you do is a complete change. The whole universe changes around you. And another point of this, all is one, one is all, it's a sense of microcosms and macrocosms, of that everything is part of a system and everything is a system of parts, has parts within us. So it's a sense of you get a sense of how your whole life fits together as one life, all is one, and then you make a choice for the direction you need to go in your life. Your oneness will become a new all. It's kind of like expanding the fractal. Fractals, you pick a point, you zoom in, and you get sort of repeating patterns, but you keep zooming in infinitely into this one spot in the fractal. You have one spot in creation. You keep expanding your one spot. Individuate yourself. Choose your best lifestyle. And that will keep expanding. Your one will become a new all. And that all is always connected back to the oneness of everything. So you will always be connected to everything, but you don't have to be actively living it, actively engaged with it. That's where you can let negativity go when you identify it in yourself. I'm going to choose a more positive lifestyle. Now I no longer fit. I no longer belong with people who are building up negative realities for a basic lesson. I know that love is the answer. People who don't even know that love is the answer, they belong in different realities. They will be in different realities. They'll still be connected to you theoretically, but you're not actively living with those people. You go into your one of the all, it will expand. You have your own universe to experience more of, in a multiverse of all universes always connecting. This is where it gets pretty trippy. Fourth law is that you get what you put out. And this is very important. You get what you put out. This is the idea of karma. People think of you'll get yours, but all this means is you get the consequences. Because, like I said, the tapioca model of reality, you are always in your own energy bubble. You match other people's energies. We're always just modeling our own life. We don't actually directly impact anyone else. We exhibit a lifestyle and we get other people to agree and match that in their lifestyle, and then we can seem to be in the same reality. People are never in the same reality. The multiverse is that every consciousness is its own universe. So if you see people at a distance in the multiverse, you see these people who are threatening to you, they're enemies, and then you pump out a lot of fear and domination. I'm going to get you. I'm going to make you do what I want. You want to make me do what I want. That energy of hate and fear, it's actually just bouncing around in your own bubble. It's not actually reaching them. They see you. They can choose to react to you and match it in their own energy, but it's always people running their own energy. So I also like to call it the bathtub effect. You're sitting in your own bathtub of your emotions, your choices. And if you pump out a lot of fear, it's going to bounce around and you'll feel a lot of fear come back at you. If you have a lot of enemies, then you'll feel a lot of enemies. But if you send out a lot of love and compassion, you'll feel more and more love and compassion coming from people. Even if they are running horrible realities, you'll feel it more from their higher selves. You'll feel it more from the universe. So be mindful. You want to, that expression, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You want to keep your center of being and how much you want a good life. Get rid of the bathwater of the old emotional reactions. Use your emotions to figure out how to change your reality, change your beliefs to get to a better place. Let the old emotions drain out. If you keep reacting, you'll react to your own reactions. And the fifth law is everything changes. Everything changes except the 5 laws. So all this is saying is that, this is the way I like to think of it. The universe, you have your own universe. You have your own bathtub effect, your own bubble of energy, your own universe. And you can't stay static. You will constantly shift around in different positions within your own universe. This is sort of, again, the idea of karma, but not exactly. But when people say if you were really mean in another lifetime, you're going to have somebody be mean to you in this lifetime. A sense of kind of switching roles, switching positions. It's not actually payback from other people. It's your own energy bouncing around, coming back at you again. But yes, and in fact, people don't totally change roles. If you tend to be a victim, you tend to be a victim lifetime after lifetime until you learn to not be a victim. If you tend to be a bully, you tend to be a bully lifetime after lifetime until you learn to not be a bully. But the victims experience an inner bully of the negativity, right? All the negative thoughts that bully you, that make you depressed, that make you give up. And the bullies have an inner victim that they're trying to ignore, but their own wounded childhood and how much they're a monster to themselves and they actually can't stand themselves. So everything will change. Just allow, if you think about, I really want to get in a great relationship, no problem. The universe will get you there. There are steps of getting you there. The universe knows what you're asking for, knows what would be good for you. It will bring it to you. Change is your friend. You will change. Just learn to love the current situation and trust everything changes. You will move more and more to your goals. You will switch positions. You will smooth out. You will make sure that everything is as fair as it can be in how you treat yourself and other people. Things will change in the direction you want to change, instead of thinking change is your enemy. Many people are afraid of change because their negative beliefs say, like, well, hold on to what you got. Any change is like your enemy taking away your stuff. So then people hold on tightly and they fight, and that keeps them locked into the same reality. Let change be your friend. The universe has life lessons for you in how good life can be, and you can work through the situations of your life. So you notice these laws, these 5 laws, it's really about a consistency of a life system in which you are responsible for your energies. You get the consequences of your choices. It's not saying anything about what the planet looks like, what you look like, the different kinds of roles and relationships. Oh my God, so much is supported. That's why life is eternal and infinite. You're going to have an infinite, wonderful time when you've mastered how to work with the loving universe, creating the most wonderful lives and all the different positions. You will change positions. You don't stay a child forever, right? But you have an inner child self. You become more of the parent self, who then can reparent yourself, be the parent that you didn't have from other people. You get to love yourself more in the different changing of roles. You will become your own universe in a multiverse. That's a lot of information. That's really great stuff. And I still want to do a meditation. So let me think about how to make a pretty straightforward meditation here. I think what we'll do the divine intermediary meditation. I mentioned this last week, and then the meditation last week was wonderful. It was more complex, but we're going to do this more in a more straightforward way. The divine intermediary is where you become more aware of the human part of you, and then the spiritual part of you, and then asking for higher guidance for that. So you become this 3-part being. Human beings are spiritual and human. People talk a lot about 4D, the astral plane, the emotional world, the energy world. That is not, like I said, some afterlife that you get to when you die. It's here now. To be a complete human being, you have to be both the human part of you that is experiencing your choices and the spiritual part of you that evaluates your choices and can change your choices. That is one whole human being. That is why a spiritual human, to have both parts, spirit deciding, evaluating your choices, human experiencing your choices, does this feel good or not, that makes one whole human being. You have to be a spiritual human to move in the multiverse to where the universe has good things for you and not get stuck in places where people would hurt you. So feel free to not react so much to the scary things in the world. Just let that be, hey, that's their choice. People are demonstrating lifestyles. You don't have to live with those people. You don't have to live that way. Just if you see something disturbing in the world, send prayers, wish well for people, but refine how you live more positively. Okay. So let's do a meditation.